Welcome back. This is Genesis with Soooooo Education and Beauty Supply. And today we're going to try not to die or burn myself or catch my house on fire. But we're going to make soap, cold process soap to be exact. And I'm going to do absolutely everything, or attempt, I should say, attempt to do absolutely everything that I've been told not to do for my first time making soap, because my name is Genesis. So we are going to start off with kind of like my inspiration-esque whatever for this. Back in cherry blossoms season, I think, what is that, like April, like at the end, or March, April, maybe it's like at the end of March into April, I can't remember. Anyway, last year I went to DC to visit a lovely friend of mine that used to own a salon that I worked at, to be able to see the cherry blossoms. And Joan's family was like so nice to be able to take me all around and do DC tours. And I already loved cherry blossoms, but like, this smelt so good. And I was, I wanted to make soap at this point in time. And this was the first soap that I was like, oh my gosh, like, it smelled so good. So from everybody that I've talked to, they basically said that, like, the reason why this would smell better than typical cold process soap is because of the fact that it is melt and pour soap that they just put the embed into. So kind of depressed a little bit about that, but I really, really want to make a cherry blossom soap. So rule number one that I am breaking is that I'm going to use a floral fragrance. So the floral fragrance I'm going to use is this one, Blushing Cherry Blossoms. I literally bought like 7 of them, I think, from different companies. And I would say this is from bulk, why can't I think? Bulk Apothecary, I want to say. 90% sure on that. And I, like, other than this particular fragrance, on top of the fact that, like, dude, this jar is freaking gigantic, okay? So typically I always take my fragrance oils and I put little tops on them and stuff. And I can't do that with this. So this is the only fragrance I will buy from them, because literally it was the freaking best out of all of them. So I have taken that fragrance and I have put in here, I am using kaolin clay. So I put the 1 teaspoon of kaolin clay in here and I mixed it up or whatever to, like, anchor the fragrance. So I've got that going on. And then I guess rule number 2 that I'm breaking is I'm not just doing a single color soap, because I am Genesis and that's not going to happen. So I'm using from Nurture Soap the titanium dioxide. This one is water soluble. I did a 1-to-2 ratio, so 1 parts of titanium dioxide to 2 parts of distilled water, and shake it up with some balls. Got some stainless steel balls in there. And then I'm possibly going to throw in this secret. The only reason why I'm going to say that this is a secret is because if it doesn't work out, then no one else will ever know, and therefore it will stay a secret. I also am going to attempt to do piping, which is the third thing that they're like, don't do a pipe top, don't do whatever, because I'm like, worst case scenario, the soap seizes up when I put the fragrance in and I put the thing in the container and we walk away. But if I can be prepared, I'm going to use this mica from Nurture Soap as well, and possibly a few others. I'm not exactly sure yet, because I just kind of want to see the color of it. And then this beauty. Okay. This is a product that they don't sell anymore, very unfortunately. I tried to buy it all. I learned the lesson that if you see anything on discount through Nurture Soap, just buy it all, because you'll never get it again. So this was the Gold Enigma. I want to say that, like, this guy right here is what they're replacing it with, Mystic Gold Enviro Glitter. But I really just like the Gold Enigma. So we're going to use a little bit of that. And then I have some different pinks and stuff. All possibilities of the things. And then I've got my lye already weighed out here. I have some sodium lactate, Kaleido oatmeal, whatever. So we're going to get started. I'm not really breaking any rules today because I want to follow the rules when I'm dealing with something that could burn me and my eyeballs. But I am most definitely pushing limits of one's supposed first time making the soaps. So one thing I would say, I guess I can't really, maybe I could do, well, I don't know, that totally matters. But anyway, here's all my little recipe dudes down here. And then I have the back also broken down with different weights and things for everything. I've been preparing to do this for like 2 years. So I feel like I'm going to be okay. But if I'm not going to be okay, you know where I live. So I'm going to start off with goat's milk. Also, a rule breaker. I froze this. My lovely client friend, Lisa, who also makes soap, she gave me some of this goat's milk, and I'm like, I have to do this with this. Okay. So one of the things with this, I can also put, I'll put the silks in there after I'm done. Okay. So one of the things with this is that or why they tell you not to do it or whatever, it's more advanced technique, is because the goat's milk can scorch. So you need to have it in ice bath water. And then I am adding my lye to the goat's milk, and I am adding it in like super, super small increments. I am also going to add my, actually it's mulberry silk because that's all I could find from Amazon's. Super nervous, you guys. Super, super nervous. But it's okay because I'm like, I have been told that I will survive. These little, I don't know, like these little beady things, like they're so freaking clingy. It's crazy. I also think I need to get the like my little sweater thing that I'm wearing. I hate wearing long sleeves, bro. Hate it. Ooh, okay, so we can see like it's starting to melt a little bit in here. So I think I want to get like these little arm things, which I thought that I had because I bought them for my son like a long time ago. And I only have one of them now. So it really kind of does me no goods. So I had to wear these, but I really hate wearing long sleeves on a normal basis. So I think I'm going to buy me some more of them arm things. And that way I could like take them off when I'm done doing this, because I'm super nervous and super extra, just in case you guys didn't know. Like, we're doing this, dude. Look, it's like melting right now. Like, this is so crazy. I also think, by the way, even though I did all my measurements and all my things and all the maths, like, and I'm going to link like every single person in the commenty thingy that like I have ever watched their soap videos, or they have somehow in some way, shape, or form like influenced my soapy life, because I Dream of Soap has an amazing soap calculation video, whatever. However, it's also kind of like super complicated, but I followed it, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to have way extra soap than what I need. However, something that I also learned through this whole entire process, Tina from Canada helped me take an actual recipe that I was going to do and put it into soap calc. And like what I kind of learned from that is it really doesn't matter what the measurement like for oils that you put in there, because once it does all of its like calculations and everything, then it's going to give you whatever amount of lye and water that you need for those oils. So I guess the worst fear, or like what I didn't really understand right away in the beginning with all these ratios, because like everybody has something different to say. Some people are like, take the length times the width times the height and then take that times like 0.4, but then supposedly that's just the volume of the mold, that's not the fluid ounces, so then you have to take it by like something in 0.58 instead of 0.4 because it's fluid ounces versus just volume, and like, or fluid ounces versus ounces, I guess. So there's so much confusion out there that is what I just stopped and like backed up off of like all of the soapy stuff just for shits and giggles. I want to see how hot this is. Oh, this is really, well, let's do this again. Maybe it was on an ice cube. Huh. It says 66.9. That's like crazy ass low. This is supposed to be like super hot with all of the lye and everything. I mean, it's melting it, so it's clearly like doing things for sure. So since there's so much confusion, and even though like I purchased like a class from Amanda Aaron with the Love and Soap thing, and I thought, you know, this is going to be the end all be all. I am now going to learn how to make soap, and then I still like had these missing pieces, and it was all like just super weird to me. And it had to do with these freaking measurements that everybody was so back and forth on, and I just wanted to make a safe thing of soap. Okay, well that says 72. So I'm a little bit better with that. Okay, so this is the silk in here. And supposedly I only need like, you know, a teeny tiny little bit of this. That's kind of cool. So I don't remember how much this was or anything like that, because like I bought it a year ago. I don't know. So I'm just gonna put that Jowsy in there. And then this is like pretty broken down. I wonder if this is a bad thing that it's so cold. This is kind of why I wanted to do a live, because then like if I did something wrong, you know, then maybe my people could be like, yo bro, this is why I told you this is advanced technique and you should sit down. Okay, this is 73 right now. Can there be such a thing as like too much icy water for the whole thing? Like I don't want it to not melt in there. Let's see what this does. I mean, again, worst case scenario, you scorch it and then, you know, whatever. But I guess the hard part is over-ish, kind of, unless I spill this all over the place. So let me see if not being in that 72. So Lisa helped me through all of those things when it came to getting over the soap calculator with an actual recipe that I was doing, that I am using. If you guys have bought Amanda Aaron's thing, it is the lavender and lemon goat's milk, except for, like I said, okay, yeah, so this is still hanging out at 72. So the fact that it should be a little warmer than this, I'm gonna, the bottom of this is not even really like hot like that. So I'm gonna say that it's done with its ice milk bathy situation. I added my silk in there. I'm not gonna add any sugar to this because I don't want to push my limits too much. But once this starts breaking down, yeah, that silk still has not melted. So we'll see if this, what this is going to do here. Let me check the temperatures of my oil. My oil's 106. So those still need to come down some. So I'm doing the Blushing Cherry Blossom fragrance, as I said, instead of doing the essential oils that she put into her soap. And one thing I didn't discuss about that, this one I really was kind of impressed with. Although I also, again, don't know if I am like super pushing my limits on this. The silk hasn't broken down yet. So just screw the soap up, bro. I'm definitely like, we're gonna, because that's pretty much chilling, but I'm not gonna get rid of the bowl completely. I'm just gonna set it off to the side because what do I do now? Can I call a friend? Blushing Cherry Blossom fragrance is 20% in the category 9. So I'm not doing that. But also from someone else, they said that like the maximum they would do of the fragrance is 12% if it would allow it, because like typical people would sit there and talk about, I'm going to set this aside now because I'm pretty sure it's not going to do anything else. And hopefully it will warm up somewhere. I mean, gosh, man. And I'm going to start working on this. This now says that it's 80. Oh, wow. Maybe this thing is off. That's so rude. In here, because this is going into everything, I am going to add colloidal oats. We're going to do approximately a teaspoon of that. I am putting it off to the side. Oh, I guess I could add, since this is so cold at this point in time, I can add the sodium lactate into that. So, un momento, por favor. I am going to add 1 teaspoon of the sodium lactate. If you are going to do salt instead of the sodium lactate, you should do so into the cold water before you do all of this jazz. Supposedly this is going to make this a harder bar. Oh, like, should I start over, bro? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm wearing eyewear and this sucks, just in case you wanted to know. Okay, so in my other color situations, when I break these off, I want to use a little bit of rose clay to try to see what that color is going to be, because I know it's going to be super soft, but I still want to do that. So I use my silk that's not melting, kaolin clay, is in my fragrance oil. Colloidal oats in here. I did the sodium lactate. Now we are going to emulsify this. So I am just using my little mini mixer to mix all of this together. This is all of my oils. I used coconut oil, shea butter, olive oil, avocado oil, rice bran oil. Yeah, pretty much. So I'm gonna get all that going in here. And already, like I said, when I think I'm gonna have too much, is because this is my 1 pound loaf mold thing, and I'm pretty sure it's. I mean, just looking at it, and also thinking about the fact that it says it's a 1 pound soap mold, and on here, it says it's like 1.5. So, it is what it is, because it's going to be safe. And that's all that we need to know, is that it's going to be safe. So we're at 98. I don't know. I'm like, I need to phone a friend, because, the process is going to start as soon as I add the fragrance oil into the whole mixture. So I was going to add my fragrance oil more towards the end, but I kind of wonder if, since this is warmer, if I should add my lye to this mixture to try to make it be warmer. Because look, my silk is still in there. Is it just going to be a silk blobby? I'm like, I can't put this in the microwave. It's still sitting at 73. So weird. This is why you don't try an advanced technique, newbie. Blah, 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 blah. We're going to keep moving on with this. Do I or don't I? Do I or don't I? I'm going to let this cool down a little bit more. And maybe because I guess it's only going to be 1 teaspoon. So let me start getting these colors ready. Let me turn off my other thing. Okay, so I am going to end up needing just 34 grams for the branches. So it's going to be incredibly small amount. The kaolin clay is not going to go into that one. So I'm just going to put, this is a 1/4 teaspoon. So let me put in not even half of that in there and just see what that does. Okay. And then I put them right in front of my piping bags too. That way I knew which one was which piping tip. And then this one is going to be for the light pink part of just the pipeable petals, but I am going to be making more of it to be able to pour into the other situation. So I think I'm going to go with this one because I'm going to need a total of 174 grams of the light pink. And so either way, either pink, I'm going to put the, what is this? The rose clay in. And this is a quarter. Oh, let me put just a little bit of my oil in there so the powder is not going directly on the bottom. And I'm gonna do a couple in there because it would be a total of like 1 teaspoon per pound of oils of clay. So I did half of the white and we're gonna do half of that. And now we're gonna come in here. I really love this little mini mixer, dude. Like, it's really on my balls. Okay, so that's gonna be that, and then I'm gonna go some dark, some light. So either way, that can go into either or. Let's check everything again. Still at 71, dude. This one's at 94. Oh, is the silk finally melted? Oh, no. Still got a big old snot blobby of things. I guess maybe we need to move up a little bit more. There we go. That's better. Sorry if you couldn't see like anything that I was doing. So yeah, I'm gonna take a chance. Okay. And we're gonna do this just like super duper slow, right? Like, this is now where timers are gonna start to go and things are gonna start to happen with things, and we're gonna make soap. Hopefully I pick some good music to be able to put around this. I'm very, very excited for this soapy journey. I mean, this is a gigantic step for me. I think it probably like took me like 3 hours to get everything ready to do this. Microfiber towel per suggestion. Oh, I need to get a spoon. Okay, so I can do the little like emulsify test. I decided not to use a stick blender, only because like it's gonna be this small amount. Oh, bro, I think the silk, and that's why you wear safety gear, because that just flung all over the place. I think that Tussa silk got wrapped around there for a hot second. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess I might have to take that little tuss of silk blobby out of there. Because it's really not. Put that off to the side. So I've, since I don't have the stick blender to be able to like take out and see the back of it, that's why I was using the spoon. We are at 85 right now. So that should be good soaping temperatures. It's just so weird. Yeah, so we very well, that little blobby guy, I guess that's one way to get the excess of the silk out of there. This is so crazy. So one thing that Ellen does with Ellen Ruth soap um, is she would take the tuss of silk and like cut it up into little chunky pieces. I'm gonna grab so I would still say like, I mean, it's coated. Could this be considered a light trace? You know, and do I take the chance of putting because it's not breaking apart from the spoon at all. So I'm kind of thinking that this would be a light trace. Did I apologize at the beginning of the video for this being like a super crazy, like, I don't know what is going to happen with this, and if my house gets set on fire, it's not my fault. Except for it is, but it's not, but it is. What do we do? What do we do? Because what if it like seizes up? I guess maybe then I could just like put the pink in here directly. But this is bad decisions. What are we doing here? Bad decisions, bad decisions, bad decisions. This is a 2-to-1 ratio of lye to water. So I am definitely, like, I know that this is going to give me some good working time. Okay, so because I know I'm going to mix it in the other things, I'm going to go for it. Okay, because again, I'm going to show you guys on here just so my people, any of my peoples that are like, why are you breaking all the rules? We told you not to break all the rules. Like, that's considered a light trace, right? Maybe. Guess we're about to find out. Okay. Let me get my scale back over here. Okay. So I need to I want 174 grams of this in a thingy for the dirty pour. And so I am going to put 174 over here. This is definitely, it's getting a little bit thicker. I'm making soap, you guys. Okay. It's a little bit more than the 174, but like it's fine. Because that's going to be my white for the bottom. So I could just throw some of the white in there. And then I need 34.99 I thought this thing was going to last forever. Into my brown 34.99 and like a little bit less because of that other stuff. But again, this is not super specific because that. All right, and then this for the total of light pink, I need 174. Okay. And then after I mix this one, I'm gonna split it off so I can like, I'm so freaking excited. Oh, that's gonna be like so pretty. I'm gonna add a little bit of mica into these things too, but I'm like, he's making soap. Okay. So then from this, I am going to pour off the 34.99. All right. And now this is going to become a light pink for the flowers. So let's add some more titaniums into there and see if we can make this be a light pink. The other hard part about this is that, like, you know, it's going to change colors and stuff, right? So I'm going to set this up against here. I think I'm going to try to add a little bit of Material Girl from Nurture Soap, but just a tad, because I want this to be like a lighter pale pink, and I don't know what it's going to do when it changes colors at the end, right? I need to save some of this titanium dioxide for, and I don't need to add any fragrance into this or into the brown because they're going to be on top and it's just going to be a super tiny amount. So I am going to leave that be. Okay. And we're going to put that over there. And then this one, we need to put some more of the titanium dioxide in here because I'm going to do a dirty pour with my different pinks, and I would like the bottom of this to be white. So this is going to be the bottom, or, you know, I guess it's probably going to be creamy because of the thing, but either way, white, whatever. And then I'm going to save a little bit more of this for the other one. And then basically I am going to break this off one more time for the measuring purposes. And it doesn't really going to make a difference. We're going to do like a halvesy and a halvesy. Okay. And this one, let's see, do we want more? So I want a light pink and then a deeper pink. To do the dirty pour with on top of the white. And I think we're just going to end up using all of that. So let's see what this does here. I'm really, really happy with this whole trace situation, which in basically like every video ever, that oh, that's pretty. Amanda said that she likes doing the 2-to-1 ratio because it gives you more working time because it has the more water in there. Okay, so I'm going to put that one aside. So I am all done with my scale now, so I'm going to get that out of the way. And then everything is still super fluid. Like even my brown guy over there. I'm going to put, I don't know, you guys, like, I think I want to dust with the fuchsia. I put Material Girl in the other one. So maybe I will put Queen of Hearts in here. So again, that's a 1/4 teaspoon, and I did just a little bit less of that. Okay. Why is it making soap? I want to get all of this like mixed, like super, super, super good. Before I go to put my fragrance in here, because you know, bro, that could be very well the end all be all of this whole thing. Okay. Yeah, this white still is not that much. Okay, so I am going to mix my fragrance oil. I'm going to do it in this one first, just so I can kind of see what's going to happen here. What temperature is this right now? 83. Okay. So I'm going to add a little more in there, a little more in there. And because this is a swirl, I am not like measuring out my fragrance per like segment of this and stuff, but in I Dream of Soap, she like breaks down her stuff a lot into all of these ratios and everything, because if you say only put fragrance into like the sand on your beach or something, then there could very well be a possibility that that sand is like overpowered with the fragrance oil. So like it could end up causing a reaction, and you don't want it to have a reaction, right? Or don't want them to have a reaction. So that would defeat the purpose. Oh, I forgot. I gotta put the super secret surprise in here. Okay, so of the super secret surprise, I am putting in a 1/2 teaspoon. See, this is why I'm like, you have everything out here. You know, we're just gonna we're gonna do this right. And hopefully I have all the working time in the world, because, you know, if it took me 3 hours to, and it's starting to thick up a little bit. But now, maybe, what should I do? Maybe note to self, I should have put that into the, you're still super fluid. You're still super fluid. Hims is still super fluid. So this is definitely starting to set up. I started to see little pigment dots in there, so I kind of was questioning whether or not I should do the little blendy with this, or maybe I should have dispersed that particular goodie in some things. But I think it's okay now. So because this is the consistency that I want it to be, I am going to start pouring this. So my idea was going to be that I have the bottom of this soap to be white. And again, I use that term loosely because using the milk is not going to have it be as white, but have it be white. And then I am going to do a dirty pour with the white and the pinks. And then, okay, I think I've got like all of everything that I can get out of there. And I'm just going to try to make it even a little bit. And I guess I really don't care if it's on the side because I am using the white on the side as well. Okay, this is definitely starting to thicken up at this point in time, for sure. Not crazy fast, but it is starting to thicken up. So I'm just going to make sure that that fragrance is mixed into here really well. Ooh. That darker color is like almost dead. Let's get this show on the road, peoples. Put it in my notes that that color, the special surprise color that I used, let's see it. This is definitely from the fragrancy situation. So I'm mix this up like as good as I can. In here. And then get this into thine mold. Those guys are still liquid, so that part of it is still good. Okay. Oops. Trying to get everything in there. And then only because this is like a little bit funky, I wanted to just lightly mix it. I really don't care how this goes in there. And we might just leave it like that, honestly, and not do a hanger swirl. Oh my God, bro. If this is like exactly this is crazy. So I guess not as bad of, you know, a measurement thing as what I thought. Do I do a swirly? I think I'm gonna do a swirly just because, okay, bro? Like, so that would be all the way to the bottom, and I don't want to go all the way to the bottom. So if I stick about there, but I am not going to push my limits here. Okay, I'm just gonna do that just to see if I can see it or if it just looks like all mixy like. And then I'm gonna smooth this out because of the piped top that I want to do on here. So oh, maybe I should put this on here too. That would be smart. That was smart. Let's see if I can make my mommy some little piggies. So this really isn't that bad amount extra as what I thought, because I really only have, you know, the little bit extra off to the side. And like, honestly, other than that one darker pink color, this is still very workable. So I'm definitely going to ask all of the powers that be just to make sure that I am right about it, that this will still be like fine to use. Just like make sure those guys are filled up there. My mom loves pigs. So I bought this mold when I was doing all my scrubby cubey things. So that way I could try to make her some different stuff with them. I guess does it really matter? How do you guys deal with this crap? Like if it's not perfect, you know? I don't know. Okay. All right, so we got that part. That guy will just be off to the side there. I guess I should still take like this same one and we are going to wipe down all of our edges. Okay, I think that's good. And let me see if I can pipe some branches. This is still like super fluid. Same with my other one. So this is nowhere near piping consistency. I'm gonna try. Maybe I should move this. That's all my other notes. So I'm gonna blend this one because this is like the one that I'm gonna be doing first and get it ready to pipe. Oh, before I finish with that, I gotta do the Goldie thingy. Okay, so I'm gonna take the little gold spray dude and because, you know, Japanese cherry blossoms would have some gold, I wanted to coat this guy with the gold because whenever I see people spray with the gold, I think it's like almost gone. or like cherry blossoms, whatever, they should be gold. So whenever I see people using this gold spray, it like makes it look like a unicorn. And I would like to have a unicorn. I don't know that I completely like, I don't have enough of it. So let me see if I can make this other situation work. But I don't, oh gosh, like that is like a crap ton. Which I mean, like, I like glitter. But I guess I kind of have to use it all. I don't know if you can see that, but it is definitely like super shimmery. Good idea, bad idea. I don't know. I was prepared. Oh, I think I can see it. That it's definitely like super, super sparkly for sure. So I would definitely say that that fragrance, you know, accelerates in the soap, but I don't think it was anything crazy. So, because I honestly even think maybe if I had mixed that other situation sooner, it wouldn't have done that. So we shall see. But this needs to be a whole lot more um, mixied than what it is. So we're gonna fast forward this part and come back when I start piping. Okay, so I am pretty sure that like at this point we I need one more spatula. Are close to piping texture. Um, and I mean, like, holy mother of goodness, I finally decided to add a little bit of the fragrance into this to be able to help it, because it was taking freaking forever. And so I'm still gonna leave this like sit here for a second. I mean, like, I cleaned up all of my soap tools and everything, like, you know, not like I had some crazy amount of them. But I still had, you know, a fair decent bit. So, and I also switched to a different mixer that I have. I want to try this. So when I put it in the bag, I twisted this so that way, just in case, like, it wouldn't run out of anything. But I'm going to leave that chill for just a little bit longer. And I'm going to do the same thing with the pink. I'm going to add just like a teeny tiny bit in there. And that way, hopefully, they will be like ready at the same time. So I'm definitely super happy that I waited for sure, and did not put any fragrance oil in these ones. If I did have some more titanium dioxide, I think like this whole, I don't think I can get any more out of here at all. You know what? I know it could end up having like little flecks in it, but I think I want to try to put some more in here, just because I know I'm going to be sitting here mixing this forever. So this thing is so weird of like, I have not figured out like, because sometimes it'll just like go super fast, and I don't know if that's because like this is getting thicker or what. And so if it's getting thicker, you know, then the battery's having a harder time with it, you know. I don't know. But yeah, because see, like now that it's not as thick, but as soon as you put it in there, it's like, I don't want to go. Okay. So I'm going to leave that one there. And I am going to attempt, oh, it's coming out a little bit. So I would still say this is pretty fluid, but I'm basically just trying to paint branches of the cherry blossoms. So I don't need it to be incredibly whatchamacallit. I really hope my head is not in the way right now. I'm gonna try to make him be like big and fat, and then taper off. I don't know, maybe we have a branch coming from over here, like Bob Ross. Like there's just a little tree, and then another little tree. So I chose a tiny star tip for this one, and you can definitely not like see the little dudes on there, but I'm just gonna leave this one here because like I'm just gonna pipe it into there. So yeah, I guess it could have been just a little regular nozzle, but I also kind of feel like This is going to be so funny. I just looked at that. I was like, he's going to look like a dirty pig. That would be really cool if I did the rest of them just like splotched with that at all. And then if I had any extra of this from doing the flower tips, then they'll actually be pink pigs. So sorry, so distracted. This particular tip that I decided to do for the cherry blossoms is a drop flower tip. I forget, I had seen someone piping soap and they had used it, and I was like, oh my gosh, like that's so incredibly smart. So I would definitely say the power in this guy, this mixer, is way more. But you know, it really doesn't do as much movement as what the other one does. So I don't know. Not that people do super small batches of soap on a regular basis, but do any of you guys have any suggestions on what you would use for a mini mixer? If I was going to do just the 1 pound batches, to like test out fragrances and things like that. I Dream of Soap, she has one, and it is attached to a plug. So I feel like that's going to be like super powerful. But I cannot find it anywhere. But I guess who would be so stupid as to do all of this for a 1 pound batch of soap, I guess, huh? I am definitely going to take it back about the Gold Enigma, like that new one that they replaced it with, the Mystic Gold Environment. Like, I really actually like that. I really, really like it a lot. This is like freaking crazy. How long? Okay. So at this point in time, like it's staying up there. So it is not going to hold like super strong peaks yet. But I think by the time I get it in here, that it is going to be good, because it's definitely starting to move here. So at first, when it took so long to mix the dark brown, I was like, you know, maybe it didn't come, like maybe it was a false trace or something. It wasn't, you know, enough before I separated everything, you know, or thinking back to the whole situation with my buttermilk lye mixture not being as warm or like cooling down faster, and having a panic attack about that whole situation. This doesn't feel like it's getting too warm at all. So I'm gonna come up here and dirty up my pigs. Oh, I just got some in his eyeball. I wonder what that's gonna look like when he comes out. Let's not put that one in his eyeball. Oh, his cheek is gonna be all dirty. So at this point in time, oh, crappy, excuse me. I also had these out, like for just in case, because literally, as I saw how much freaking soap that crap was making, I was like, and no. So I don't know, would this hold? I mean, it's such a small little doohickey anyway. That I don't know that it would actually hold a star. I don't know. But hopefully by the time I'm done doing this, then my other ones will at least hold a cherry blossomy thingy. All right, I'm going to put that in my little brown cup. And I'm going to use this spatula. I wonder how people, oh, that might leave it a little cleaner. Are we going to have like little, well, no, I guess I can't have that by Valentine's Day, huh? I wonder if they're smaller. If that would like make them cure faster. Like you would not have to wait for the 6 to 8 weeks if you did little soapy dotty dudes. All right, so I'm gonna put this back off to the side, and hopefully I am gonna be able to pipe something that would resemble a flower. And I'm gonna try this a little bit off to the side just to see. All right, we're gonna hold on for just a little bit longer with that one. As soon as it's ready, we will come back. Okay, so we are back, and I want to show you I think that'd be really close. Okay. I'm like, I am okay with that. I think that is gonna be super cute. So meanwhile, while this was like still sitting here doing its thing, like I had to go to the bathroom, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna burn all my lady bits off. Like, oh my god. So, oh, I wonder, you know what? Let me get my little doohickey to raise everything up at least a little bit more, maybe. I don't know that that would make a whole and sorry I can't zoom in on it. So now I'm just going to try to randomly, oh, well, that's interesting. I wonder if it's like you know, just because it was at the tip. because these guys are not as stay putty. This thing smells like freaking amazeballs. I'll tell you that much. But I think, like, I am over at this point. I got excited, and then now, I mean, they're holding their peaks, but they weren't as pretty as those ones were. So that kind of sucks. I'm definitely kind of being slow about how I am picking this up. Doing a little bit of a up and down situation, because as I'm coming up, it's starting to like pull with me instead of sticking there. But I think that people would definitely understand that this is a cherry blossom soap for sure. Not, just the smell, but also like with the design and that together. Okay, turn this guy around, y'all. I definitely like this approach better. I was gonna buy some little cherry blossom thingies, like a silicone mold for them. So I think that looks good. Let me pipe this into here, and then I will pull it up closer so that you can see it a little bit more. But I decided not to, because I then went and, researched more cherry blossom designs and things like that. And what is her business called? I want to say it's like Jennifer Soap. But I had actually bought a cherry blossom one from her, and she did cherry blossom embeds with a thingy, extruder, and they were so freaking cute. And she was like, I am so tired of this. And like, I actually bought them, because I had seen her do all of this on her Instagram channel. I'm going to bring over my other heart tray again. So that way, any of this excess will go to be an actual something, dang it. Like, I don't want to waste any soap at all. So I went and, I had bought that one, and she does so many things with embeds that is like just freaking amazeballs. So I know I'm not advanced enough, and I don't want to do all the soap dough things at this point in time anyway. Maybe some other day I will do that. These are definitely not the prettiest backs on those piggies, but they will turn into a soap. And then I had found I Dream in Soap had done cherry blossoms, and she had piped them on top, and she just used a star tip, and it's still, when you're looking at the whole entire design, basically, that it looks like a cherry blossom soap. So that's when I decided that instead of going through all of that other extra work of trying to order silicone molds that are specifically with the embeds and things like that, or for the cherry blossoms, that I would just pipe them. So, okay. Sorry, that took a second. I'll move this away. And then I will bring thisy uppy to you. Hopefully you can see, because that gold in there is definitely like really golding for sure. So we will see you back for the cut, hopefully. I still might put this in the freezer, maybe the refrigerator, because of the fact of the goat's milk soap situation. And I was told that it could crack and, all these different things. But honestly, like, it's not like the outside isn't really hot at all. Where's my temperature duty daddy? So it says it's at 86.9 right now. So I'm kind of debating on what I want to do with it. So I just don't want it to crack or do anything, because supposedly the goat's milk soaps would get a whole lot hotter, as they're curing, and so it could crack in the middle. But I don't know that I see that many people, or that I really heard of them doing a CPOP and gel thing with the cold process, oven process thing, by putting it into the oven. So I'm not sure what I really want to do with it, but I will keep monitoring the temperature for sure. And then hopefully tomorrow we'll come back and cut it. Even though I have determined basically that I want to do all of my loaves at 1 in a quarter, I guess it would be 1.25, 1 and a quarter. However, I think I'm going to split this one up into smaller ones, only so that I can be able to give them out to super special people and have them be able to try them and just, kind of see. Because I want to say, like, with the measurements, like, technically this should be the side of the soap. So, I don't know, I guess like that would be the top of it. Because I don't want to do the wide bars. I want to do tall and skinny bars, because I want to do like pipe tops and things like that. So with doing that, I would need this mold to be flipped in the other direction. So, but this is just my tester. Whatever. I know where I want to be in the future, because figuring out the measurements of soap boxes, and like it's a whole nother thing that I'm good on that. So I'm gonna split this up, make my list of all of my super special people that will be getting one of these soaps to be able to try, because it's gonna come out perfect. Tomorrow, when I go to cut it, it is gonna be so unbelievably perfect. Oh, you know what I forgot? As I'm sitting here looking at it, let me get, because I want to be able to finish this. I totally forgot. I'm going to take fuchsia from Nurture Soap. I'm going to put it into a little container because I would assume it would get contaminated if I went back and forth with my brush, and this did not work. But I wanted to make little ombre doohickeys. And it is going to work. And I'm definitely glad that I did it like this. I don't know if when it would be completely hard that I could do this. But with doing the little cherry blossoms this way, you could not get the deeper center. So I wanted to find a way to be able to get a deeper center. I'm so glad that I saw that jar. And you're like, I thought this video was done. I even fast forwarded and all the things. I thought that the video was done, but it's not, because you know what? I'm extra. Read all about it. And like I said, I would assume that this brush is like dunsies now that I just did that. But we'll see. That'll be another thing when I reach out to my soapy friends. I'll be like, so I kind of ruined a brush, because that would be a brush that I would do with my, and let's just go and take it off. Okay. So that's just going to be that then, because apparently if you touch it, it's going to remove it all. So we are going to officially be done. So if I had have used a petal tip and like did each one of these petals, then I could have done a darker center with the darker pink and things like that. But like I said, I wanted to keep things as simple as simple as I could, because this was already more complicated than it should have been for my first bar of soap. So I was trying to simplify the complicated by choosing to do this method, thanks to that I Dream of Soap. But I still want to get that good end effect. So I might try to see, maybe with my piggies, when this soap is done, if somehow I can brush the cheeks or the ears or something like that with the mica and see if it like sticks at all in any way, shape, or form. Just so I know next time if I did this, then maybe I could add this at the end. But thank you for sticking with me this whole entire time. If you did actually stick with me this whole entire time, please go and support all of the other people's that I put into the comments. Like, their videos are freaking amazing, and all of the years that I have been watching them, like, I am just utterly amazed. And thank you to Nectaria as well. We were having a conversation about the soap challenge, soapers. I can't think of what the heck it's called. Maybe just Soap Challenge Club. And I asked her, like, why should one compete in this, and I really should have already known the answer. Honestly, it's kind of crazy because I competed when I was working for a nail manufacturer, and the reason why you compete is to improve your skill, right? And maybe you wouldn't do something on your own that if you had a deadline to be able to do it, then you would push yourself to be able to do it. And I mean, it's the same thing with nails, is that you learn more about your products, you push yourself more, and by having that deadline, then you're like honed in and focused on really trying to make that work. So totally made sense. And I'm like, just duh of the does of the does. So thank you so much for that, because with me, completing this whole situation, I am now like confident that I'm going to sign up for that and just see where it takes me. And if there's any other bits of advice that you guys can give to me, totally throw them out there, and I will ignore them, like not using the goat's milk goat's milk in my soap, I guess. And not doing multiple colors when you do this, and not like, no, I promise I won't ignore, things that are like, you're going to die, but I'm definitely going to push myself. So thank you all for helping me push myself, and we will see you for the cut. Bye. Okay. So, how many hours would that be? I guess, I got done making this, I think at like 11 o'clock last night, and it is 7:30 now. So everything breaks away. I'm like super worried. Well, I guess it's sliding out. I am nervous. Nectaria said that if it's coming, or if it's away from the edges, it's definitely dentable, that's for sure, because but it should be okay. I guess I have to set it on the top. And as I suspected, there are definitely like holes and spaces in it. But I think I'm gonna be very happy with this. So I would assume, I don't know if you can see on there, like that this would be soda ashy, but not really that bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut it. Let me go get my cutter. We are back, and I am like super freaking excited. So I thought that like I would do these ones first, just to show you these little cute hearts. This mold, particularly from Amazon, is like super flexible. I love how thin this part is. For this anyway, it makes them so much easier to be able to pop out of here. So there's those guys and little pink heart. So these, I kind of would have expected the fact that it's not a complete heart, just because of how thick it was at that point in time. And then these ones, like, he did pretty good. Those little piggy nose, oops. Oh, him's even better. I was kind of messing with that first one on the corner. I'm like, he is so cute. And then oh, well, he's like a dirty, chubby pig. It didn't, again, because, these ones should be better, I think. Was that oh, no, they might all be this way. that these were the ones again as it was getting thicker, you know, to try to push it in there. So he is definitely a very like cute, dirty chubby piggy, but like, super cute. Oh, actually, let me put them all in here. I'm gonna put it back over there. Okay, there's those. And now we're gonna get into the business. So basically what I decided of how I was gonna do these, and I took the measurements of, is I want to cut it down half this way, and then I'm gonna make like 1/2 inch. I have basically put my ruler up to here to have that be a 1/2 inch increment. And then that way I'm gonna have a lot of little soaps, both, you know, for me testing with things, and because I want to give them to other people. And I will just like, how dumb, oh, I just dented that. I was like, oh, I cannot use this soap cutter. That's gonna suck. I did buy this thing because this thing came with little doohickey. Let me see if I have them here. It came with these guys, but you know, the soap couldn't be like too tall for you to be able to use this one, or it came with a thinner one to go with it if I were to like pipe tops and, you know, things like that with it. And then also I did not realize you know, because I guess technically the loaf would go in like that because your piped top would be on here. And as I was like trying to figure that out is when I was like, I just stuck it in there. I just need to cut it like that, you Riri. So glad that I figured that out before I tried to like rig something else up crazy, because that would have been rather dumb. So this is what we're gonna do. And even though I know that, sorry, this is my battery pack, because it's like kind of, it's torn down here, so I don't want it to be down there. So battery pack. They're gonna lose weight and they're gonna shrink down even more, but I just want to make sure that I have enough of them for everybody that I want to give them to, and test out a couple of little different things with them. So this sucks only because, like, again, I'm gonna have to line this up funky because it is now like too tall to be able to sit on there, but I am going to try my best, and hopefully this comes tight enough, which I think that that's at the bottom. Don't want to mess up the flowers on top. Looks like it did not cut all the way through. There we go. And like, not the prettiest, I might say, but I will be able to fill in all these little holes when I go through and bevel them. So not bad, you know, considering the fact that that's a really pretty color. So maybe once this you know, processes through, maybe, let me take it off of this and I will set these on here, and maybe they'll make this a little bit easier. So my swirly situation definitely did not work as far as when I put the hangery thingy in there. There it goes. I wanted it to swirl down into here, so you really can't see that part of it. So maybe I would need to go all the way down to the bottom next time. But I'm kind of surprised that this doesn't have a whole lot more holes in it, all things considered. Maybe should I try, I was gonna say maybe if I did it this way, that way, the tool can like really sit up against, I don't know. I'm just gonna keep doing it like this. Oops. It'll be cut and it will be fine. I'm gonna try to push it up on the back part of this. I don't know if I need to tighten up this a little bit more, as I said, because it's not getting through that last little bit of it really good. There's that one. But overall, I am very proud of myself for, you know, what this outcome was. Oh, maybe it can't do it because of the guitar thingy. That one went through good. Definitely very happy that, you know, at least got something out of them. And they smell freaking amazing. So we will see how far that goes within all of these things. Because supposedly, you know, like this can fade. And since I have all of my tools and everything washed, just like how the I Dream in Suds person, I'm actually gonna just center this last one on here. How she tells you to clean everything. Since I did all of that, I could actually make, you know, more soap now. So the next one that I'm gonna do is gonna be, ironically, like probably funny to a lot of people, because I am basically, oh, I guess if that's it, let me, oh, well, I know I won't be able to fit the whole bar in there, but let's see, since I took these off in order, oh, that won't center it, so I will have to center it off of here and do that one, say like there. So ironically, it will be a unscented, uncolored bar of soap for my dad, that he has allergies to things, and so I want to see if I can make him a bar of soap that he could use. All right, I'm gonna try to do all these at once. I guess I can come straight down, and I'm gonna try to follow this inside edge one. I know you can't see that as good. Oh, but that did, it did a really good job of, like I heard the little tinky. Okay, so let me get these out of here. And then I do really like the look of when they bevel all of them. So I am going to bevel them. And then I want to try some soap stamps that, or these aren't, well, one of them is an actual soap stamp. But then the other one is just a water, what do they call the sealy thingy for packages? Maybe I could do it on here. At one point in time, I was trying to figure out different things for packaging, and so I bought this little guy that it says love on it. And even though it has an impression in it, oh, that's definitely, oh, it does. That could be really cute. I don't know if you can really see that. Let me try to take, you know, my same little brushy dude with that mica. I don't know if that'll stay that way, but that is kind of cute. I would maybe have to center it a little bit more. So that way it doesn't, you know, since it is so soft, push that out. But I'm glad that worked. So maybe that would be a cool way that I could get started with being able to use the stamps. And then also from TMK in Australia, I had these made a long time ago because, like I said, I have been wanting to make soap for forever. Okay, they can't go this way, so they have to go this way. I really wish it had a handle so I could do that with the handle, because I guess maybe I don't need to do it that hard. I don't know. Maybe I do. Let me see if I can line this back up again. I have this mallet for all of my construction-y things in the garage. I'm like, well, it definitely works, that's for sure. I broke my soap a little bit, but it definitely works, that's for sure. Maybe, hopefully that'll come together. So I'm gonna keep going and doing all of those things on them, and then I will go and do a bevel on each side, and you know, the bottoms. Oh, maybe I should wait. Well, I don't know. I guess that looks like it might be an average amount, because definitely if you push a little bit more, it takes off more. So we'll see. Because at this point I made them at 11 o'clock last night, and it's 3 o'clock now that I'm getting to do this. So I'm gonna save all of these to be able to put in little baggies. But then also, if I had little holes, like little air pocket, like that one there, I could take the darker color of this one right here. Where did I drop it? Let me find another one here. Oh, it's on my thumb still. That's crazy, I couldn't even see it. And then you just mush it in there. I mean, for crying out loud, I don't even know if you just took the white, you know, even though yeah, so even that color like would be fine. It's not that crazy. Now these would be a little bit like harder to be able to fill in. But the fact that I would double that side, this is something that I had learned from Ellen Ruth Soap, that she had then learned from somebody else as well, which would be an advantage of like cutting and doing all these things with your bars sooner, essentially. So I'm very impressed with the fact that basically on the inside of it, you know, there are not a whole lot of those holes. This was like the outside of that bar. So if I had have thought to squishy it down, you know, how they like slam the thing on the counter, then that would help that to go away. I don't even know if this big old hole, if that would be a worth it thing try to fix. See, this is like, this is a 2-year at minimum, basically, project that it took me to do this, and I am so thankful and proud that I finally took the leap and just did it for sure. So the fact that this is like a more rustic bar, I think really helps out with those types of things for sure. And this is me just doing this because I can, because I'm sure that every single person that I give one of these samples to is gonna love them no matter what, if I did this or not. But I love the fact that I know how to fix stuff. And I would definitely say takeaways from everything would be that since I'm gonna add the fragrance into each thing individually, for the fact that that was like a faster moving fragrance, I think I should have added it into the white that I was gonna do on the bottom, get all of, you know, that settled and in there, and then work on my next one. I think putting it into, you know, all of them to try to separate it did not help out the fact that those other ones accelerated, because I think it was like sitting in that one spot from me pouring it in versus mixing in, and that then made it accelerate even faster, because that first one that I was working with, like, it was still pretty liquid. So I think that would be my attempt for next time, because I definitely will be using this fragrance again for sure, you know, and just continue to kind of have this particular design be more involved, if you will, like let the design evolve into something. That part kind of sucks, that like when you cut them down like super short, you can't really see all of those. So I would do that. And then what else? That way I did that and pour. I would definitely do the piping stuff on the top again, the exact same way that I did it this time, until I learn how to do like soap dough and things like that. Cause then I could definitely see putting the cherry blossom embeds in here. And I know that the Jennifer Handmade, she has these like gorgeous flowers that she does with the soap dough. I'm not sure if she puts them in a mold or quite how she does that. But they would be super pretty to put on the top of here if she had some cherry blossom petal ones. So I could see evolving into that as well, still do that piped top, and then maybe do like some bigger cherry blossom embeds for on the inside of it, just, you know, kind of randomly. But I love it. I am obsessed, and I am very much so looking forward to seeing how this process goes over the next 6 to 8 weeks. To, they might not even have to cure that long, I guess, because they're smaller. I did end up doing the oven process with these because I felt like it was colder. So I don't have any of the gel thing, like, so I guess they fully went through that process. So that is a good thing as well. I chose to do that only because it was cooler. So I guess that would also be another lesson learned, is for the smaller amount of soap, I did not need as much ice water into the thing because that made it cool down way more. And until you guys tell me differently, all of my, you know, people that know things, I'm going to go with the thought that I did the right thing by, and my fingers aren't burning, so that's a positive, that I did the right thing by kind of warming up that lye water mixture a little bit more by putting it into the warmer oils, because they were like within 10 degrees of each other. So I feel like that was a wise decision that I made, and we'll see where we go from here. But please, you know, any, I would say constructive feedback, right? Like, you know, tell me, in this situation, would you have zigged when I zagged? Or, you know, what other changes would you have made, given the fact that I still wanted to do multiple colors? I still want to use the floral fragrance. You know, I wanted to do in a goat's milk and, you know, all of those things. How could I have improved this process anymore? And I am going to put a disclaimer at the beginning of the video as well, but I'm like, this is my first time making soap. So please understand that there are way better people out there to like really learn from, just like I did, but I want to journal, you know, this whole process. So don't go off of anything I said and be like, that's what I'm going to do, you know? All of the people that I list as references in the comments section, all of those people, you follow them because they've been doing this for years, and you get advice from them just like I got advice from them. And, you know, start your own journey with this. Do not rely on anything that I have said to be like, you know, set in stone factual, because I am not an expert at all of this stuff. Cool? Cool. I think that's it. I am just like so happy to try to actually get to use these things. I guess that would be another thing. We can go and do like a latherity test with these. So I still want to wait a little bit longer. Maybe I'll come after I get done with my clients tonight. So it'll be a full 24 hours before I like go and use it. And we will finish out the video with the lather test. Bye. So we are now a couple of days out from when I had made this soap. And so I'm going to take one of the little party guys and we're going to see what this does. Like, it feels really, really good. I can say that for sure. Like super creamy for sure. I really like how it feels, and I think it's got a super good lather going. I don't know. You guys tell me. You think I did a good job? And we'll see. I've got everybody on my curing rack, and got their weights and stuff taken, so we'll see how long it takes for these guys to cure. So thank you very much for following me. If you have come all the way to the end for the lather test and going through my very first bar of soap journey. Like, him is so cute. Those would be very good for like the travel soaps for sure. I mean, and you can see, like, it doesn't even need to be that big. I could have like long been washed my hands and be done with it already. So I think that would be perfect for traveling situations. And hopefully it's still a little bit soft. I would say I definitely like love these molds. So it is still a little bit soft, it being a couple days later. So we'll see how hard they get, but maybe that would be something super cute to do, and I can have different shapes and stuff to go with the different holidays. Thanks.